All right, everybody, welcome to the 42North 78West show. We have a great show today. We have our man Nate Lajoie. I got his name right, thank God. But we also have my other co-host Kevin Leville, and Alex Cloud will be joining us later, but he'll get here when he gets here. But Nate, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic, bro. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad you're here today, man. I'm just so appreciated to be here.
Hey,
Man,
thank you for having me, man.
yeah,
This is
awesome,
incredible. Thank
awesome.
you.
So, so you're definitely so if people don't know you're a TikToker. Uh, a lot of adults are like, TikTok. What is that? What, they
Is
don't.
that like Facebook?
Is that like I have to kind of explain them. It's like Vine. It was like it's kind of like Musically was kind of a thing, and then all of a sudden TikTok's here, and now it took over the next big social media. But TikTok's here to stay because it's been around for kind of longer than I thought.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I think that this is kind of the new frontier of social media
Yeah.
is these little 15, 20, 25-second clips. You think about it, Instagram has now come out with Reels. There's a lot of, newer platforms that are kind of mimicking what TikTok is doing. And in my personal experience, I first got into it just kind of as a joke. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
It was actually my girlfriend at the time was like, "Hey, I want to send you this like on TikTok." I was like, "TikTok?" I had never heard of it. And this was even in January or this past January. I had no idea what it was. So I downloaded the app and I'm like, this is all right. It's nothing special. I never even thought about posting anything. But then come March, I posted my first video, and it was actually about college basketball and about how March Madness got canceled and how I was depressed about it, right? And my first video got about 2,000 views, and I was like, 2,000 views? I was like, oh my god, like this is mind blowing. Like I just
Wow.
posted a video, it gets 2,000 views. I was like, wow. So from there, it just kind of grew, and I wasn't posting as often as I do now, obviously, but it worked out. Let's just put it that way, right?
Yeah, for sure. All right, so So I'm gonna ask you some quick questions, man.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
so yeah, you can start. That's how you got started, and you started getting. You said it right. When did you start getting a following? It was probably when you started doing the top tens. Like you started blowing up.
Yeah, so that was probably late May, early June of this past year, of course. I was just kind of thinking about cool ideas for content that I could do, and I was honestly watching the NFL Network one day, and they have their top tens that they've been doing for over a decade now. And I was watching one of them, and I was like, wait a second, what if I like condensed this in my own, with my own spin on it? Obviously, I was going to copy their top tens, but what if I condensed this into, say a 30-second video and just put it on TikTok? And it was just incredible. I posted a few of them, and it just grew and grew and grew and grew. And by the middle of July, I accumulated 25,000 followers, and it
Wow.
was it was just unbelievable the amount of growth that I saw in that short period of time.
Huh. You guys have anything to add to that?
No, I just think it's like crazy with TikTok. Like,
Actually, let's take a second.
yeah,
Let's welcome in Alex Clouden, who's fashionably late as always.
Sorry about that. Work was hectic, but we're in here. So,
Hey. All right, we'll go up. All right, Kevin, keep going.
no, I was just gonna say with TikTok, it's just amazing how you look at people like Charlie D'Amelio and like how they got into a point where they've made so much money off of TikTok, and then they could post any video and it's an automatic like 5 million likes. It's like it's just crazy how social media wise how this has just taken over and the way it's taken over like quickly and just now you're seeing commercials, you're seeing all these different things just from TikTok, and it's just like it's eye opening.
It really is, and talk about perfect timing. With all the pandemic stuff going on and people, sitting at home doing nothing, just scrolling through TikTok for hours and hours and hours. So it's been kind of a perfect storm for a different social media platform to take over and kind of, ingratiate themselves into the big Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and so this is kind of, like I said before, the new frontier of social media apps, in my opinion, at least.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, I feel like once Vine kind of died, everyone was like, we need to bring this back. We need to have something like this back. So I think, shout out to the creators of TikTok, they really just nailed this, like coming in at the right time, like you said, and just kind of taking over and just being that new Vine, you could say.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, that's really what it is if you think about it. The videos are very similar in style. But yeah, I mean, it's been, at least for me, it's been life-changing. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure it's been life-changing for, thousands and thousands of other people that have gotten big on this platform too.
Absolutely. You guys have anything?
Yeah. So which one of your top 10s was the one that kind of really blew up that made you realize like I'm gonna keep doing this. Like I want to, like this is fun. Like
let me think back. Yeah. So the first video that I did that really blew up, and I remember it pretty vividly. It was around the time, and you guys probably remember this. I forget when it was. It might have been in June when all of the new NFL uniforms came out for the teams that were updating their uniforms for this season, mm-hmm. right? Yeah. And I think that there were 7 or 8 new uniform combinations that were coming out. And I did it. It actually wasn't a top 10. It was a rating, because back then, one of the themes that was trending on TikTok was rate things. That was the hashtag. It was rate things. And I saw it up there and I was like, oh, let me take this and run with it. So I did a rating on a scale of 1 to 10 for each of the new NFL uniforms. And I remember I posted it kind of late at night, and I woke up the next morning and it had 400,000 views. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, what's going on? And I had multiple thousands of more followers. And it was just incredible. And I then started posting more and more and more. And it just kind of grew very organically. But that was the first one. I remember it was the first one that really blew up. And now I think it has over 2 or 3 million views. So it's been pretty incredible since then.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Man, I love how you just go out and you just reach out to your fans. You're like, thank you so much for the support. I mean, I remember I saw your 100K video. It's like, man, this guy's down to earth. This is a down to earth guy who just is a very appreciated man.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I mean, listen, I would be nothing without. I think now it's 123,000 people following me. Mm-hmm. I do that for you guys, for everybody else. I mean, obviously, I make the videos for me, and I do it because I have fun with it. But the fact that 123,000 people actually care about and want to know what I have to say about the NFL and about sports astonishes me. Like it really is. And it's so like humbling to know that, I actually have impact on how people think about certain things. It's incredible, because my whole life I've just been talking about football, blabbering with my friends, debating things, just to do it. Right. But now I actually have a platform where I can do it to the masses, which to me is just mind blowing. And I can't think of, anything in my life, at least, that's been more kind of gratifying than this. It's really, really amazing.
Wow, man. All right. Well, man, this is awesome, man. But let's see. So we talked about that. So I talked to you before about your For You page, and I mean, probably most adults want to know about this, but some weirdos on that app. Like, I don't know how these people are I don't know how these people are famous. Like, it mind blows me how these people are famous. It
really is incredible.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just like the what's the one? Oh, the I sacrificed my life for Pakistan, and grape. Like, it's all like that. When that one guy blew up, I'm like, why? and his comments are like, it's not funny anymore, and it's just him posting again of just him make fun of himself, and I'm like,
Yeah. No, it's like the Wild West. The For You page is like the Wild West of social media. You see everything, you hear everything.
Right.
You know, it really is kind of insane.
Yeah, the one that I seen it's been blowing up. It's people putting butter on their dogs, and it's that one side
Yes.
butter dog. Yeah, I'm just like,
I have seen those. It's
what?
it
Are you
really is
serious?
incredible.
Are you serious?
it's funny, but
I'm
like in a
missing
stupid
this?
way. Like I'm just like, I see a video that has probably like 200,000 likes, and it's just someone putting butter on their dog, and it's just some weird sound in the background just saying butter dog over and over again. I'm just like,
It's incredible.
like
It's
this is
incredible.
peak comedy right now.
I am
Like,
so glad I haven't seen that.
oh, you
I'm
will.
so-
You're gonna see it. Trust me.
I don't want to see it. I'm like, what?
We all see it.
We all see it. Oh my god. Oh my. All right. So. All right. All right. So speaking of so you always got your Yankees hat on in your videos. You're definitely a diehard Yankees fan.
I am a diehard Yankee. I don't have it on right now. I got my Titleist hat on, but I am a diehard Yankee fan. I wear it in, I'd say, most of my videos. I've been a Yankee fan for as long as I can remember. And last couple of years, it's been a little rough come playoff time, but you know, it happens. It happens, and you just got to roll with the punches, kind of. But yes, for sure, I'm a diehard Yankee fan. I rarely miss a pitch. Been to a bunch of playoff games. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, man. I mean, yeah, you could ask me and Alex. You know, Alex would come over to my house. We always watch I sent you a picture on of our setup of how we watch games and stuff like that. But Alex would be like, "Hey, garage tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah, we'll go watch some baseball," because that was when baseball started. You know, that's when everything was. You know, everyone's like, "Oh, finally some sports," and it was like. Yeah, let's watch something. All right, let's watch some baseball because it's the most entertaining thing on the television right now. I don't have to hear, you know, the news, and you know, I don't want to keep hearing about it. I want to escape. I want to watch sports.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And when baseball came back, it was kind of, I think that, and had hockey started up yet? Hockey, I think, had been going on.
I think it was about. I think it was like starting in like a couple of weeks. I think baseball was first to get rolling, but. Yeah, we were in the garage for Game 5 against Tampa, so
I was at the casino.
I tossed my hat at the end and just sat back in the chair, just started drinking because it was pretty heartbreaking. As have the past few years.
And honestly, it was one of those games, and I've said this to a bunch of people, but it was one of those games where you just knew that something bad was going to happen. When they couldn't get or manufacture any more runs in the early innings, when, you know, obviously they hit the home run in the 6th to tie it up.
Yep.
It was just one of those games where you knew something was going to happen. It was like that feeling of impending doom.
Yeah.
You know, coming to the 8th inning and the guy fights off a bunch of pitches and you felt it.
Yeah.
Right? And then you see the ball go over the fence and it's like, here we go again.
Yeah.
Right. And obviously couldn't manufacture a run to tie it up in the 9th. But it is what it is. You know, you're not going to win a title every year. I know Yankee fans, for the majority of, you know, the history of baseball, have been extremely spoiled. But last 11 years has been a little rough. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah. Being 23, 09 is really the only title I can like really remember. And it was awesome. But even then, like I was still in middle school. I didn't fully appreciate it because I kind of just knew like the Yankees, they win all the time. So I was just like, sweet, they won. And then I just kind of went on. And then as the years went by and they kept coming up short in the playoffs again, I was like, okay, maybe that's not the case. Maybe they don't just win every year. and then once kind of this young core with Judge and Sanchez, well, Sanchez is kind of fallen off past couple of years, you know. But yeah, just the new core coming up through the system, you know, it brought my, like 2017 was the most fun I had as a Yankee fan. Like,
I completely agree.
Up. Yeah.
Completely agree.
Yeah, like that just like that run was just incredible. And then and even though they came up short then, I was like, they're gonna they're gonna come back. They're gonna get it done within the next few years. And here we are, 3 seasons through after that, and they haven't gotten it done yet. It's been frustrating, but like you said, it is what it is. But
Yeah, they're gonna get one. It's just a matter of time.
yeah,
You know,
definitely.
it's
Yeah,
just a matter of time.
yeah. 2020 was it was a weird year. It was a crazy season. So,
But one thing I gotta add with the Yankees. So we had this thing, Voit. Every time he came up to bat, did you ever notice how he would pull out his chest? You ever notice how his shirt was one size too small? And this,
Yep.
we would be my dad would be like, "Here comes babyface Voit. Here we go. He's gonna hit a home run. That's right." And it was like a recurring joke because, like, Voit was stylish, man. The one thing I gotta say about the Yankees, man, he come up to bat, and man, this dude was like, "I'm ready to hit a home run right now."
I agree.
Yeah.
No, and it was kind of shocking to me that after Game 5, 2 days later, I'm hearing trade talks with him involved.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, you're gonna trade the guy that just led the league in home runs? I feel like he's definitely a great clubhouse guy too. So that was kind of confusing to me. But hopefully they don't deal him, because I like him a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I liked him a lot too because he was always on my FanDuel team. Every week I'm like, FanDuel. All right, we got Voit. All right, he's on the lineup. Let's get it.
Yeah.
But we can go on and on about Yankees all night, man. I could call myself. I can call myself a Yankees fan. I mean, you guys don't get mad at me. I'm a baseball fan because my favorite movie is Moneyball. This is why there's an Oakland A's hat right here. All right. Wait. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the team. I'm a fan.
No.
Wait.
Hold on.
Can I be a fan of the story? Can I be a fan of the story?
Let me say this right now. Billy Bean is the most overrated general manager maybe in sports history. How many? Okay, there's a movie about him. Yeah. He's such a great GM. How many World Championships did he win? How many World Series did he get to? How many ALC? I think he got the ALCS twice. Got swept once by, I think it was Detroit. In 06, they got swept. How many big playoff losses did they have under him? Most overrated GM ever. Ever.
It's a good movie, though.
Has yet to win the last game of the season, as he would say.
Oh, yeah, we can't win the last game of the season.
And if you can't win the last game of the season, no one gives a shit.
No one gets.
Exactly.
But speaking of that too, do you have a favorite sports movie over on that subject?
Sports movie. Oh my God.
Because our second favorite is Draft Day. Because we love making fun of Draft Day because we like saying, "I want David goddamn Putney."
Just because I feel like
Just because I feel like it.
So, my favorite sports movie ever, I have 2. They're both golf movies.
Oh, I think I know what's coming.
I love Caddyshack is my number 1.
There we go. Yep.
And then sentimental value, Happy Gilmore, because Shooter McGavin might be my favorite movie character ever. I love Shooter McGavin. So those 2 stick out. Let me think of another one. Caddyshack, definitely number 1 though. Not even close. Caddyshack, easily number 1.
Yeah, I was supposed to have a viewing party with my what do I call him? I call him Pete. I'm calling him Pete, basically. This guy who supported me on doing the show and stuff like that. He's like, we gotta watch Caddyshack. All right, we're just putting you together because I would tell him because I was getting my golf game going, like over quarantine. That's why I was teaching myself how to play golf, and he's like, you gotta watch Caddyshack, because I was getting.
It's a must watch, man.
Yeah, it's a must watch.
It is a must watch.
That is for sure. You guys want anything on that?
Well, my favorite is Miracle.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
Good one.
Yeah, and then
I like Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell's a good actor. I like him a lot.
He was phenomenal as Herb Brooks in that movie.
Yeah.
And then the fact that the whole team, like the players on the team, they got an actual group of hockey players. They're like it's probably easier to teach hockey players how to act as opposed to actors how to play hockey. So,
for sure.
Yeah.
Kevin, what's your favorite movie?
Put me on the spot.
I'm sorry. How about you?
I don't know. That's a tough one.
Ooh.
I haven't really thought about it, so I'll have to get back to you on that.
All right,
There's a lot of good
all
candidates
right.
out
We'll get
there.
back to it. But you want to join us for some sport news, Nate? We've got some sports
Sure.
to go over. Let's
Sure.
do it.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
do it.
All right. Oh wait. Oh my God. I'm looking at my notes. There's a question. Let's go. You know what? Let's just talk about it real quick. So you're in the fantasy football, right? We talked about it earlier.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, people will probably be jealous of your record because I'm not doing that good, but it's all right. But you're definitely in the fantasy. I told you also beginning of the show. Thank you for drafting my team because you really helped me out because you were
Listen, you are welcome.
Yeah, you were also big on Matthew Stafford. Weren't you big on Matthew Stafford as well?
I was.
Yeah,
I was. I've always thought that he was one of the most underrated players in all of football.
Agreed.
I think that since he's come into the league, if you take, I think there were 2 or 3 years at the beginning of his career where he was kind of shaky, maybe 2. I know his rookie year he wasn't very, very good. I know he got hurt too. But I think he's been, in that span of time, a top 10 quarterback in the league. I really do. And it's a shame that Detroit, all the dysfunction that's going on within that organization, and they could never put a great team around him. He's been on some good teams, but never a great team. But even still, I think he's fantastic. I really do.
I got a comment too on Matt Stafford. He's one of the toughest players in the league. I mean, I think it was last
tough
year.
as nails.
Yeah, where they're like, oh yeah, he's battling some injuries. Turn out he broke his back last year and he was just playing through it. It's like, dude,
Tough as nails.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and I mean, I love because one of the Detroit and Atlanta game, right? When he was driving down the field, that was one of the games I was on our where we were, and I'm like, I was pumped up. I'm like, Stafford's about to do this.
Yeah,
he's about to do this.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah, he has a knack. He has a knack
Yeah.
late in games for making things happen. And to tie these 2 points together, you think about the game early in his career. It might have been his rookie year, maybe his second year. They're playing Cleveland at home. Both of these teams were awful. They were maybe 1-8, 1-7. They were terrible teams. But they had the game of the year. And was it 2012 maybe? It might have been either 2011 or 2012. And they had a barn burner of a game. And Matt Stafford separated his shoulder on the last play of the game. There was a pass interference call in the end zone. So Detroit gets the ball on the 1-yard line. He sees that they get the ball on the 1-yard line. He's with the team doctors, and he's like, no, let me back in the game. I can throw one pass. He runs back onto the field and throws a game-winning touchdown with no time left with a separated shoulder.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I was just gonna bring that up. I remember that's just him and his career in a nutshell, basically. That.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah. I was like, holy, this kid, he's for real.
He's a warrior.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you mentioned, with him being overrated, I think early on in his career, I think he didn't get the credit he really deserved, because I think a lot of people are like, well, he's got Calvin Johnson, one of the best receivers of all time, most talented receivers of all
I
time.
miss Calvin Johnson.
So Calvin Johnson was incredibly fun to watch. But yeah, I think Stafford didn't get as much credit because a lot of people thought, if you take Calvin Johnson away, he's not that good. And then what happened when Calvin Johnson retired? I mean, he's still putting
Look
up
where
numbers.
he's done without him.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
still put him numbers.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and he's just been on some pretty bad teams there.
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah. It's
wow, man. But let's see. Are you so are any of you guys dealing with injury problems? I know I told you guys in the beginning of the show too, any of you guys dealing with injuries? Because am I the only guy dealing with injuries? Because I guess
Fantasy wise,
league.
I think during the course of the year, the only thing that happened to my team was Melvin Gordon was out because he was having some off the field stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of another guy that's been out. I've gotten extremely lucky. Let me just say that. And I'm actually 8-0 in my I swear to you. You might not believe me. I'm 8-0 in my fantasy league. I drafted Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett, Kareem Hunt. They've carried me through the year.
Ooh.
And if you don't believe me, I'll send you a picture. I promise.
We believe you, man.
I'm 8-0 right now.
I believe
and it's been a great year so far. Let me just say that.
Yeah, I totally believe you, man, because you got Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb gets injured, and you just now you got almost productivity out of those players, And of course, Lockett was a sleeper too. Well, now he is because Metcalf is now almost getting doubled now because Metcalf is a beast.
He's unbelievable. He really is.
And TikTok blew up the thing when he was sprinting down in the events. You know, it would be a meme. What was the one? There was one that made me laugh too much. I can't remember, but it was just like over and over and over. It was just him sprinting down that guy with, the funniest captions and stuff like that.
Well, one of those ones that I saw, not to get political, but it was just it was Biden's face photoshopped on DK Metcalf, and then Trump's on Buda Baker, and he chases him down.
I saw that.
That cracked me. I was dying watching that one.
That's as political we're gonna get, right? All right, good. Okay,
we'll cut it there. Yeah, we'll stop it there.
Okay.
It was a meme. It's not,
But gotta love fantasy football. One thing I do want to do is I want to be in one of those what is it? The Destiny leagues.
Dynasty.
The Dynasty. Oh my god. Dynasty. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I haven't got one yet, but I would love to do a Dynasty league because I think running your own team for X amount of seasons.
Yeah. No,
I think
it's pretty cool. I've actually been in one. They're awesome. They are pretty cool.
Yeah. Because when you're now I'm 20. Now I'm understanding fantasy more. Now I'm looking more. When you were when I was high school, 16, 17, I'm I just draft my favorite players or the ones I knew. Because I was not too big into sports. I like sports. Now it's now you got stuff. When you get older, you understand life now, and it's now you got to get away from that stuff, and it's I need sports so I can keep my mind on something else.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Sure.
So now it's call it a hobby now because I'm gonna have fun drafting players. You like having fun texting your buddy I got you this week. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
It's Kevin. I sent him a text at midnight. You had Philadelphia's defense against Bandinucci, and I'm it's Philly defense. Ben DiNucci might step up. Here we go. No, Philadelphia destroys Ben DiNucci and gets 22 points, and he wins by 2 points.
I know.
Wow.
I had to get up early the next morning, so I was asleep, and I just wake up, and I'm just beat Sebastian by 2 or 3 points. I was oh man, fly Eagles fly. Not an Eagles fan, but I was that night.
Oh man, fly.
I gotta tell you what though, fantasy wise, I'm playing Alex this week in one of our leagues, and I have Joe Mixon out. Zach Ertz on the IR. Kenyon Drake's out. So right now I have J.D. McKissick as my running back number 2. And
wow.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I wouldn't feel too good.
No. And, I'm searching the waiver wire, and there's Rex Burkhead, but I'm well, New England's got 4 running backs. I'm pretty sure Sony Michel's back from IR, so
yep.
That's, and then I think there was Gus Edwards, but I'm and probably J.K. Dobbins is probably going to get a better look this week. And I'm I got to get lucky this week. I don't know.
I'll tell you what I feel good about it. You should keep him in your lineup. You shouldn't pick anyone up. You should just keep him in there.
Yep. Going to have to just hope Antonio Gibson just, isn't having a good game, and Kyle Allen just keeps checking it down to him. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to tell you one quick thing, Nate. So I'm going to ask you real quick. Should I start Antonio Brown? Do you think he might have a good game?
So, okay, think about this, and this is what I was thinking about too. The one game he played in New England last year, in Miami,
yep.
How many times did they try forcing him the ball?
Mm-hmm.
You go back and you watch that game. They tried pumping it into him again and again and again.
Yep.
He only had, I think, 3 or 4 catches in the game, but he had at least 10 targets, and he did score. So I think that it's going to be another scenario like that they're going to want to get him happy, get him targets. I think they're going to want to really integrate him into the offense. Granted, he's only been there for, a week and a half now. Mm-hmm. But still, if you think about it, he was there for even less time in New England last year when he went down to Miami, and he got 10, 11 targets and scored a touchdown. So, would I start him? It depends on what your other options are. But I wouldn't feel
Hey, let's check real quick. I got you real quick.
Well,
Yeah, sure.
Let me see. Let me see.
I wouldn't feel worried if I was you, because I think they will try to get him integrated, throw him a couple, little dink and dunk, maybe, 5-6 yard passes.
Well,
Brady loves to think and dunk.
Whoa. So, well, because I want to know, because I'm facing Alex over here, so I'm trying to, I want to get a little upper hand on him because he's got the number one. He's got the number one team.
it's funny you say that because in that league we were talking about J.D. McKissick. Antonio Brown is in my flex right now, so we both could definitely use a big day from AB.
Yeah, a big day.
Not Alex, but
because I got Will Fuller. I can't not sit Will Fuller.
I love Will Fuller.
Yes.
I love Will Fuller. He's one of my favorite players in the league.
I wanted him to end up as a Packer, though. Kind of wanted him as a Packer.
Me too. Me too.
Aaron Rodgers slinging it to him? Ooh, that would have been a good matchup.
I agree.
Yeah. But, man. But, what we got next on the dock? Let's see. We got COVID news. Great. Yeah. All right. Yeah,
when don't we have COVID news?
Good. Yeah, good times. And, oh my God, there's something else I've got to add. Here we go. Here, let's see if you appreciate this, because I know this person would appreciate it too. So we have a person. I'll give you a quick story. We have a person. Her name is Brooke. She is my neighbor. She's my neighbor. She's my neighbor. And me and her father, we have fun with fantasy football and stuff like that. 2 years ago, she joins a fantasy league with me, and she had no idea what she was doing.
Wait a second. Don't even tell me she won the league.
Well, I'm getting to it.
Oh,
The story gets better. The story gets better because we had the draft. I claimed her garage, right? And her dad was there to help her and stuff like that. Her thing was set to auto pick. And I was accused of putting it on auto pick. Now, I didn't put it on auto pick. Of course, to this day, I hear that she's got to say, yes, I put it on auto pick. So she got, I think, Adrian Peterson as her first, or I think it was Adrian Peterson or Peyton Manning as her first pick. So she goes to the league. Championship game, guess who she's facing?
You.
She's facing me. It's the championship game, and guess who wins?
Her.
She does. And I couldn't, for 2 years, she'd look at me and be like, do you remember who won that league? And I'm like,
Oh my God.
here we go again.
Actually, since we're on the topic of Brooke here, I played her week 2 in fantasy.
Oh, wait. We gotta explain that to him real quick.
Okay,
Yeah. Wait.
playing Brooke week 2 in fantasy this year, and I'm up by a decent amount, so I'm feeling good about it. So 1 player left for both of us. I had Josh Jacobs and she had Darren Waller. It was week 2 against the Saints. And Darren Waller had 12 catches, over 100 yards and a touchdown, and Josh Jacobs did nothing. And she ended up coming back and beating me, and I will never forget that.
Listen, you guys got to get your teams figured out here, because I can't be hearing this from you guys.
Hey, I just beat her last week.
Oh, wait. Okay.
Battle for first place. Just saying.
I can't be hearing this.
But here's the catcher too. So we did a neighborhood league this year. So I said, let's get a league together. I said, Brooke, would you like to be in it? She said, yeah, I'll be in it if you face the fact that I beat you in the championship game. And she was like, the only way I'll join the league. And guess what happened? What was it? She went 6-0. She doesn't watch sports. She only looks at the analytics. 6-0.
Oh
But I'll take the credit though. I took her down. I'm the one who beat her in the midway through the season. I'll take that crown. But oh my God.
Stressful.
It's quite a story, man. It's but I know you probably appreciate that story, man. It's
I don't know if I appreciate it.
Maybe you don't appreciate it, but it's kind of a funny story, man.
It is. No, I agree.
We'll probably have, if you come on the show again, we might have Brooke on the show. So, she might be roasting me the whole time, but it's all right. But it's all right. But
that's how it goes, right?
Just don't let her join any of your fantasy leagues. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, I'm not taking a risk. I'll take your advice there.
Yeah. But all right. Let's get to the COVID news. So we got Mike Tomlin getting fined $350,000 for not wearing his mask. I really watched. I was watching the game. I'm like, this dude, he ran onto the field with his mask off. I'm like, he's gonna get fined. It's gonna happen. Got another thing. Las Vegas Raiders getting massive fines right now. John Gruden especially. It's not. It's a good thing that the NFL is really taking this seriously. They're taking they're taking all the steps. Wear the mask on the field. At first I was like, Pete Carroll got fined in week 1. It was kind of like a stone for the NFL saying, hey, even if, whoever you are, if you don't have your mask on, you're going to get fined. And it's a good thing that the NFL takes their protocols, with the reserves and stuff like that. Just today also, we got the Atlanta Falcons and the Miami Dolphins. They moved in intensive protocols. We got also positive tests in the Packers in Cincinnati. But on your opinion, you think it's a good thing the NFL is really taking these steps.
Yeah, no, and it's kind of, what's going to happen.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
The second that you see somebody take it off, it's like, there goes.
Yeah,
a little part of their paycheck. There you go. But listen, they set a precedent. They said, follow these rules or else it's coming out of your pocket, right? So of course they're going to stand their ground. They're not going to, fine some people, not fine others. It's a pretty fine line. You follow their precedent or else. So, I think that's really all there is to say about it. I don't know about you guys. I'm just so sick and tired of hearing about it.
Yep.
I just wish it would go away. I want a regular season. I want to be in the stadiums. I want, fans in the stadiums. But that's just not the way life is going to go this season. So, it is what it is.
That's why more coaches just got to wear the Andy Reid screen.
Yeah, you remember that? You remember that week 1, dude?
One.
We made fun of that so much. He's like, it was a fog storm, and it couldn't help it. He literally had the mask like halfway up, and he's like trying to look at the plays. Mahomes is like, bro, are you all right up in there? Like, you all right? But crazy time we're living in, man. It's
the Titans. They still never got punished, or did I just completely miss that?
That's what I was thinking. The same thing.
Because the Raiders, they punished pretty quickly.
I think they did. I don't quote me on it. I really don't know, but they must have. You know what I mean? They had to.
You think, yeah, because
they kept it pretty quiet.
They were making it sound like they were going to come down hard on them, and then not that they completely came down hard on the Raiders, but to take a draft pick from them. It's only 6th, I know, but I just thought it was weird.
Yeah, it's a crazy time we're living in. I'm just glad the NFL figured it out so we can just keep watching football.
I agree.
Do it. Yeah, do whatever you got to do to have some sort of season. Yeah,
because baseball. They had the stepping stone of what to do. When they had positive tests, they would quarantine players. Now the NFL would put you on a reserve list, but MLB they just stop all things, and they'd be like, because they can do double headers, so it's a little easier for them to work it out because double headers.
It's easier for them to make up games, right? That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Because NFL, there's a lot of TV rights and stuff like that. When the Bills getting played on Tuesday, it was weird. Bills on a Tuesday on 5 o'clock,
I know.
and then we don't want to bring up that game, but it was kind of a everyone wants to talk about the Titans. Oh, they didn't practice for 2 weeks, but. It's just, but I'm just glad there's football. But let's so we're in Bills Moff country, of course, and we're facing Seattle. We're facing Seattle. It's gonna be it's gonna be a tough game. It's definitely gonna be a really tough game. What do you think? You think it'll be a high scoring game?
See, I'm going to be honest. I think I picked Seattle on my TikTok. I think I said 31-27. So relatively high scoring. I think Jamal Adams coming back, that was just announced a little bit earlier. He's going to be active. I think that's going to have a big impact on how Buffalo's going to want to play. I saw them. Can I say? I think Seattle defensively, without Jamal Adams, big time liability in the secondary.
Mhm.
I thought Buffalo was going to try to pound their secondary. I thought they were going to try to get vertical. But with Jamal Adams in the picture, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. With him back, I think it's going to be a little bit lower scoring, honestly. Something along the lines of maybe 28-24. I still like Seattle, though. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
Buffalo's looked a little shaky in recent weeks against New England last week. In my opinion, they got a little bit lucky at the end of the game. And obviously Tennessee before that. And they've looked a little up and down recently. But it is not a game that Buffalo can't win. Let me put it that way. I think it's going to be a one-score game. Might be a game whoever gets the ball last wins. But in those kind of situations, you got to love Seattle. They've been so good in close games this year. You think about all the games that they've won in the last minute, the last second. And against Arizona, that's the one exception. And some can say that Arizona got lucky to be back in that game. So I like Seattle in a very close one.
Nice.
I definitely think that's fair. Yeah. I think we could score on their defense. I'm not too afraid of their defense.
100%.
It's just if Allen, can perform. I mean, he's been very up and down. We saw what he did first 4 weeks. He looked awesome, and then he's kind of went back to what we saw the previous couple of years. But yeah, if they have Jamal Adams back, that makes it a whole lot harder.
I mean, just announced a couple hours ago. I
did not.
I got an update from a guy that I know, and I think that'll make it a little bit more difficult. I honestly think Buffalo is going to try to run the ball in this Seattle defense. I really do. I think that they're going to want to try to control the clock, keep the ball away from Russell Wilson. You look at the game that Seattle lost, Arizona destroyed them in time of possession. And I think that's kind of the formula to stop the Seattle offense. It's so good. It's like ridiculous, right? So you think about historically, and you guys as Bills fans know this better than anybody, to stop a great offense, keep them off the field, right? Mm-hmm. You look at Super Bowl 25.
Oh, whoa.
Hold on. I'm giving an example here, right? The Giants went into that game with one game plan. Don't give Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed the ball. And they didn't, and look what happened, right? So I think in any big game, when you have a fantastic offense coming into the game, your defensive game plan should be don't let them touch the ball. And I think that should be Buffalo's game plan coming into this week against Seattle too.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Agreed.
For sure. And then, I saw we want to see Air Allen. So you saw Josh Allen those first 3 weeks. They were almost calling him MVP, and I'm like,
he was, in my opinion, he was top 4 or 5 MVP talk the first few weeks.
Yeah,
really.
He was on fire. Like it was fun to watch, because us, we're watching like, there it is, it's time. Here we go. He's just slinging. Here we go. It's time. And then what was it? The Titans game just brought us down. It was like, here we go again. Yeah. Yep. We got the division.
That's going to happen with any young quarterback. He's still growing. He's in his third year in the league.
Right.
He's still growing as a passer. He's still growing as a decision maker. Mm-hmm. So, weeks like that are going to happen. Stretches like this are going to happen. You look at any quarterback in their third, fourth year in the league. It doesn't matter how great you are. You're going to have your down weeks, your down months. It's just a matter of how you bounce back. And this is a great opportunity for him to prove that he's ready for the big time. It really is. This is a fantastic opportunity for him.
Yeah. Most of the people are also not on the Josh Allen bandwagon. I have my 2 Josh Allen jerseys because he's my man. Josh Allen looks good in shorts, and it's all good. He looks good, but oh my God, I'm losing my train of thought. I usually never lose my train of thought. Wow. Yeah, you guys, help me out.
I think when you said Josh Allen looks good in shorts, I think you just got too distracted.
Yeah,
you're just thinking about that too much.
Thinking about him in shorts. That's right. Oh my God. How can I remember? All right. You know what? Let's just move on to the. Let's move on to some things. So, of course, Bills Sunday at 1:00. They're gonna be without Mitch Morse, Matt Milano, Josh Norman. If you've seen, we love Matt Milano around here. We do not like
I
AJ
know
Klein.
you do. One of my best friends is from Rochester. He's a Buffalo Bills season ticket holder.
Yep.
He loves Matt Milano.
Matt Milano, man. He's a beast,
He's a
but
stud.
So
Yeah,
good.
not AJ Klein though.
Oh my god.
Oh,
he can't,
has he mentioned AJ Klein to you? Has he mentioned that guy? Because AJ Klein
Hates him.
Oh,
Kills him every
he's-
week.
oh my
Kills him every week.
God. Oh. It was during the Patriots game, wide open. He went right down the lane. I don't know what it was. He just completely missed him. I'm like, he was. Oh.
What made me so mad was when McDermott was like, I think Klein has been resilient. Like, oh, good for him. He misses a tackle. He goes back out there just to miss another tackle. Like, good for him. He's resilient. Like,
But we love our man Josh Norman as well. Once we signed him, he's got injury problems, but
For sure.
But when he played for us, first game, what was that game? I forgot what game was that.
Jets week 1.
Yeah. When he
New York Jets,
he made his debut against the Jets. Played phenomenal. He had that fumble, and we're like, here comes Josh Norman. We got him back, and then gets injured. He gets demolished by Derrick Henry. Gets embarrassed by. Oh, you saw that one. That was a meme too for a bit, getting plummeted by Derrick Henry. But we're hoping for a good game. Seattle's favorite, but I think Bills. If we see Air Allen, they got inconsistent offense. Defense steps up a little bit. I think we could take this game.
For sure.
Yeah, sure. You got Kevin? You got something, Kevin?
well, I just think too. I think it was really reassuring to see that we finally had a run game going last week.
Yep.
That was
Singletary.
just a big thing that's this whole year is we just could not run the ball, and I really think, yes, like for the first 4 weeks you could have Allen do everything. You can just rely on him to do whatever, but then it showed like he can't do it all every game. Like you need that run game.
I agree. Yep.
That's also with all the analysts on any pregame show. They'd be like, you got to get Singletary involved. Because that's what opens up your offense.
Establish the run.
Exactly. They all
football.
But then Buffalo's like, it's 4 wide, and my dad's in the back. Give it to Beasley. Beasley, he loves Beasley. Beasley's love Beasley. If you know Cole Beasley.
He's a good rapper.
He's good. He is a good rapper. But what's our next story? All right, so we're gonna bring up Trevor Lawrence because I thought this was interesting that Joe Namath thinks he's gonna pull an Eli Manning. I wouldn't be surprised because I wouldn't want to play for the Jets.
If I'm Trevor Lawrence, I would literally be like, it's no question you guys want to draft me. You're not trading the pick. Either get rid of Adam Gase, get me an actual head coach. Don't go hire like Bill O'Brien or something. Hire like Eric Bieniemy or something. Get me a coach, and then we could work this out.
Now, what do you think, Nate?
I completely agree, and I truly think that he's going to come out this year. I really do. I don't think it's too much money, too much risk. I think he's going to come out, and when he does, I think that behind closed doors, you're going to hear talks of they have to get receivers in there. They need a new head coach. And I think Gase will be gone. If you guys watch my page, you know how I feel about Adam Gase.
Yep.
Just an abysmal head coach. Pathetic game management. Horrific play calling. And it was never going to work out from the beginning. I hated the hire from the beginning. Well, as a New England fan, I loved it. But if I'm a Jet fan, you had a chance, and I know Mike McCarthy does not look great right now in Dallas, but there are a lot of problems behind the scenes there with the roster. I don't think Jerry Jones is – the whole front office there is a mess. But you had a chance to get Mike McCarthy fresh out of Green Bay, and he wanted to coach the Jets. He came up publicly and said, I want to coach this football team, and you take Adam Gase over that guy? Give me a break. But in regards to Lawrence, I think he'll be gone. Bieniemy, I love. I think he would be their best hire for sure. I think he would be an A-plus hire. But yeah, I mean, you think about the history of the Jets franchise and the quarterbacks that they've had since Joe Namath. It's just been a litany of coulda, shoulda, woulda, or just plain not good. You think about, okay, you get Chad Pennington for a few years, but he's constantly hurt. He led them to the playoffs a couple times, got unlucky in 2004 against Pittsburgh, but still, dysfunction. Mark Sanchez, he was supposed to be the savior, led them to 2 title games, but after that, look what happened. You think about Vinny Testaverde, the year after they go to the AFC Championship game in 1998. He comes back in 1999. They're Super Bowl favorites. He gets hurt in week 1, and they're going to start Tom Tupa, the punter, at quarterback. Seriously, this is what happened. And Bill Parcells had no plan for the backup, and then he left the next year. So it's just been a litany. Think about it, in the 80s, they drafted Ken O'Brien over Dan Marino, right? It's just been a litany of mistake after mistake at the most important position in football for this team. And you really got to think about if they made one good decision over the last 50 years and they've gone without a title, what could have happened? You go to a couple AFC title games in the 80s. In 1998, they're up 10-0 against the Denver Broncos and blow the game and lose 23-10. You think about Pittsburgh, Doug Bryant misses 2 field goals that could have won the game to send them to the AFC title game to play New England instead of Pittsburgh. You think about 2 AFC title games they played in 08 or 09 and 10, excuse me. You think about all these blown opportunities, and you just wonder if they had gotten it right one time, what could have happened, right?
Yeah, I mean, Trevor Lawrence he's unbelievable as a Florida State fan.
He's a generational talent.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to say. As a Florida State fan, it kills me because I hate Clemson. So if he ends up with the Jets, if I have to deal with him from Clemson to joining my favorite NFL team's division, I'll be pretty annoyed. But if they hang on to Gase and stick with him, then I'm not even really that worried. I don't think
there's a chance in hell.
I don't think so either.
Last pass this year. I don't think there's any chance, especially, listen, this Trevor Lawrence pick for them is the next 15 years of their franchise, if you think about it. He is a generational talent. You think about John Elway coming out of Stanford in 1983. You think about Peyton Manning in 1998 coming out of Tennessee. Even Andrew Luck, who, in my opinion, probably with those 2 guys, the other best quarterback prospect to ever come out of college. You think about those 3 guys and the impacts that they had on their franchises. This is that type of guy. You cannot mess this up if you're the Jets. You need to give him the ideal situation with everything he wants, and that's what you got to do because he's that good.
Yeah, like that draft interview at the combine, it should literally just be, all right, what do you want us to do? What do you want from us? We don't need to know anything about you. We know what you can do. We know who you are. But what do you want from us?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to revert back a little bit. Like, if you're a Jets fan, honestly, the person you should hate is Peyton Manning, because Pat McAfee, he had Mike Lombardi on, and he was talking about he endorsed Gase. Where the Jets asked Mike Lombardi like his opinion, he was like Mike McCarthy, but instead of listening to him, they're like, well, we're gonna listen to Peyton Manning, and then here we are.
because Adam Gase was Manning's offensive coordinator in 2013 when he threw 55 touchdowns. But we're going to give Adam Gase credit for Peyton Manning throwing 55 touchdowns. You think it was Adam Gase?
Yeah.
You think it was Adam Gase that was executing for Peyton Manning, who's notorious his whole career for calling his own plays?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
And just look at Ryan Tannehill in Tennessee right now. Whole different player than he was in Miami with Gase.
Adam Gase is a disgraceful NFL head coach, plain and simple. There's no way that the Jets are going to mortgage the future of their franchise in that man's hands. There's no way. No way.
Yeah, literally every year besides that, with Peyton Manning, every other year his offensive ratings were in the 20s at best. which is just
Pathetic.
hilarious. Yeah, it's
He's an offensive genius. He's
yeah,
an offensive genius.
I couldn't believe it.
Who's a mediocre offensive coach at best.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when the Jets hired him. I just laughed. I was like, what are you doing?
Hey, it's the Jets.
It
Just
is
jet
the
the
Jet.
button.
It is the Jets. Well, we
Jets
can,
are gonna jet.
as long as they stay on the bottom of the division for the next few years, just keep them down. Patriots can have third. Don't worry, Nate. You can have third. Well, actually, no.
I'm
Actually,
fine.
actually,
Your time's
you
up.
can have second. Sorry. All right, we'll put Miami a third, and then as long-
Miami's going to be good for a bunch of years.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Brian Flores he's a really good
Yeah,
coach.
that's-
He does
is
worry
trending
me.
upward.
Yeah,
For sure.
fast.
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
But it was kind of weird when they did bench Tua. We had one of our test episodes. We talked about Tua when he got started as quarterback. At first you're like, what? But I feel like the front office is like, we got to see how this guy can do. He's healthy. Put him in. And maybe they could have put more of a run because Brian Fitzpatrick was looking good. I was like, you could start that manager fantasy. Fitzmagic was back. Good old Fitzmagic. He's gonna play good the first. Actually, you know what? Maybe they. You know what? That's probably why. You know why they benched him? Because Fitzmagic lasts 4 weeks. I think it's like 4 to 6 weeks. He Fitzmagic, and then they bench him for Tua, and it's like maybe Tua. Let's get a spark. But but Miami is coming up the division. I'm kind of a little terrified of Miami because I think they might go on a little run.
I would be too.
You guys going to add anything on that?
But
But
good.
but other than that, I think that's all the show we got. But I do appreciate Nate you coming on today.
Absolutely.
Thank you for responding, man. I'm so glad you were here. I think we had a great show. You got a great voice, man. I gotta tell you, when probably why people watch your top 10 list, man. You just when you say here we go, I'm like, yeah, all right, here we go. Let's hear this top 10. And you do it in parts. It's because TikTok doesn't let you do it in or you do it parts so you can. Oh yeah, what's up?
2 things. Number 1, I do it in parts because think about it this way: if I were to do each number that I do takes between 9 and 13 seconds, right? So you think about it. The video can be a minute long. The most that I would be able to do in one video is 6. So I don't want to do 10 through 4 and then have the rest. It just kind of didn't work out. So what I do is I split it into 3 parts: 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in a longer form video. TikTok's algorithm likes shorter videos. So that's the other reason why I do it. Just because chronologically it makes sense, and then their algorithm prefers shorter videos too. I got a lot of people that ask me that question because like, can't you just put it all out in one? I don't want to come back multiple times. I'm like, listen, I'm doing this for you. I want it to be more smooth, and I post them all in order anyways, so it does work out.
Well, it gets me hyped up because I'm like, oh, he put him there. Because you know what? That Madden, you got the Madden list. You still haven't released the last one yet, right? You
have not released the last one. I'll be doing that tomorrow morning.
Can we get a spoiler? What's number 1?
I don't know about giving one.
I want to know.
Don't make him give us one.
All right. How about this? Okay. You know what? You're gonna like me. I didn't watch part 2, but is Madden 12 it? Because Madden 12 is my favorite.
11. 11 is in there. 12 I didn't like as much.
You didn't like 12?
Really?
I liked it, but 11 was really because from 10 to 11 there's such a big jump in the quality.
Right. Yeah.
The gameplay mechanics totally changed. There was a bunch of different things in that game that really set it apart. And then since then, I haven't liked the Madden in many years. I don't know about you guys.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
They've done nothing to franchise mode.
Yeah. Fix franchise mode because
fix Madden franchise.
Like I told you at the beginning of the show, I do EA Access, give it to me for free. Last year was a little different. I had a good job. I kind of was making money, and I kind of got a little into the Ultimate Team.
I have a fun fact.
Yeah.
Madden Ultimate Team came out in Madden 10. I have never once played Madden Ultimate Team.
Yeah, I played very little. I'm not crazy.
Madden.
I'm not into it at all.
No.
FIFA Ultimate Team, that's a different story. I waste thousands of dollars on FIFA Ultimate Team every year.
I
I hate Madden Ultimate Team.
Yeah, I'm yeah, I did waste money on FIFA because I was the guy who would watch those YouTubers and stuff like, oh, I'm gonna get Ronaldo. I want that 99 Ronaldo. I want him. I want the striker Ronaldo. And I'm like a kid, was making like a part-time job. Who's like, I got money. I want to do it. I did it for Madden. Madden 20 or last year's Madden. I wasted. Got a golden ticket. Hey, you know what golden ticket is? I got a golden ticket. Like that's my only good thing about it.
And it's funny you say that because that's why they don't fix franchises, because they're like,
Much money.
Everyone's spending all this money on Ultimate Team, so we're just gonna put all our time and effort into that because we are making money off of it, and lots of it.
They got a lot of my paychecks.
There you go. Thanks, Sebastian.
No, you're welcome. I'm
You're
the
the
one.
problem.
I'm the
Yeah,
problem.
shame.
Boo.
Don't. If you mention my friend Nick, $3,500 he has on his bank statement on Madden Ultimate Team.
Oh my
Just so that
god.
just so that team can just go away after the
Just
end of
so
the next
it
year.
doesn't roll over,
But
but
when the next game comes out, just so that team just
3,000.
disappears.
It's ridiculous.
I hope he at least took a picture of his team, so the
Yeah.
$3,000 he spent, at least he has a picture of it.
He could show his kids it in the future. Like, remember,
Yeah,
Madden 19, this is my ultimate team.
Actually, well, all right. We'll do one last thing. I mean, how I see it, football cards, like cards and stuff. Ultimate Team's also kind of cards. I don't think 10, 20 years from now, that iconic card, a first owner card from your Madden account, would be worth money later in years because that card was kind of, what I mean? I kind of think that way sometimes. Because like years from now, it's a weird way of thinking. It's a weird way of thinking because there are some cards that were glitchy that you could literally do anything with. Because I'm that guy, I was one following it. But it probably won't happen. People are just wasting their money and they move on to the next year and redo it. But other than that, man. But Nate, thank you so much. I'm gonna thank everyone who did watch today. We definitely made. Okay. We definitely made I made my improvements from the show. I thank everyone's support and everything for our show. Again, thank you, Nate. Nate, I'm gonna text you after the game. You like hats?
Love hats.
I'm gonna send you a hat.
No, you don't have.
No, I'm gonna send you a hat. Dude, I have 400 hats.
Wow.
You can have one.
That's like me with jerseys.
You can have one, man. Give me a team. I got almost every team. Which one do you want?
We'll talk after.
We'll talk after. I'll send you pictures, man. But I'm gonna send you a hat. But thank you so much for coming.
Thanks a
thank
lot,
everyone.
man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks,
it.
dude.
Absolutely, guys.
All right.
Thank you so much for having me on.
All right, man. Have a good day.